What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Steve, Elite Public Safety Training Academy. I got my boy
Leon Adams, Security Concepts.
It's kind of a fascinating day. We're here on the same side of town, in the camera shot together.
Came down, hang out with my man Steve. Watch him do what he do on the range, do his thing.
Did some shooting today. Had some fun.
Absolutely.
Got some real work in. Guess what? My student got to experience 2 instructional platforms. Nothing being different, but just us both going head to head on, which was pretty good. He probably got kind of sidetracked. I was like, God dang, I got 2 people all in my ear telling me to do something right. What the heck, man? But our purpose today is we talking about, this is part 2 of the SMS. Got darn social media shooter.
Social media shooter.
And so today,
You know who you are.
know who you are. Stop it. Freaking stop it. Know who you are. But today what we're talking about is somebody kind of ran an idea past. Said, hey man, let's tell these guys what to look for when they go out and they're looking for training. Alright, so again, the social media shooters, what I did the part 1 video on, was all about the person who looks at YouTube and they say, man, I want to go do that freaking crap. But they have no understanding of what the practicality is behind it. They're not getting anything out of it because somebody is basically presenting a false picture. So today what me and Leon is going to do, we're going to show you guys, or talk to you guys about getting some proper training. We're going to start off, let Leon start off. We're going to tell you about our backgrounds. What gives us the purpose or whatever to stand up here and talk in front of you and try to tell you something?
Well, my background comes from prior service with the U.S. Army and with 2 different law enforcement agencies here in the state of Georgia. Too much longer because I don't want to take up too much time on the video. But spent some time in the service, including having the opportunity to serve with my unit in combat. And later on, had my experiences in law enforcement, 2 different agencies, working on a wide variety of different applications, from patrol, working for a little bit with the drug unit, and rounding out my career working in crime prevention unit, and then later on in the jail division at another department, where I more or less learned how criminals think, what makes them do what they do, what makes them tick.
Alright, very good, my brother. I'm trying to keep mine short. Most of you guys know who I am if you watch my videos, but for those who do not, alright, I'm just a guy who likes to train. I've had my law enforcement certification for 10 years now. 15 years total security law enforcement experience, and 1 year prior to that is when I kind of started my military career. I've been doing it for a little while. I have a lot of firearms training, a lot of certifications behind my training. And when you talk about background, you're talking about some guys who have not just went to civilian classes, but guys who have got it from sources who are accredited to teach us stuff, and that have requirements to teach us the things that they taught us. So that's somewhere we're trying to take you guys today. And
one thing I forgot to point out, as Steve pointed out, instructor certifications are important. Steve has a laundry list of instructor certifications. I myself have instructor certifications as well, and that's something very important, and we're going to explain why in just a minute.
Yeah, so we're going to cut it off. We're going to start with the instructor background. See how we just gave you the background? Ours, although we kept it short for this video, when you go looking into a course, what we're going to do and the way we're going to break it down, I'm talking about the public safety side of things. Leon is going to talk about the civilian market side of things. But the whole gist of it is looking into your instructor's background. What do they know? What kind of experience do they have, and have they had? Have they ever been involved in any type of gun game, gun serious type situations?
Absolutely.
Do they compete? What does it mean to you that they compete? All these things are important. So background on the public safety side of things, we want, when I'm teaching security, when security is asking me who should I go to, why should I choose you, I keep it simple for them. Okay, first of all, not only am I accredited through the state of Georgia, but the state of Tennessee has accredited me, the state of Utah has accredited me, and to date, I am now eligible to be accredited in Florida, Mississippi, and I think more states. The point is, make sure your instructor has the certifications to train you in those areas. And of course, in public safety, it's going to be such an easy find, because in order for them to train you, they have to be accredited anyway. But on the civilian side of things, it's a little bit harder.
Absolutely. On the civilian side of things, most states you'll find don't have a certification process, so to speak. Most people seek out, for example, NRA certifications and the likes. And what we're going to explain to you as we go along in the presentation is, along with looking at those certifications, you want to make sure that they're practical to your end purpose. Does it serve what you are specifically looking for in regards to your needs? As an example, seeking out an instructor who specializes in sport and target shooting may not be the best solution for you for learning something for practical application in home defense, for example. So you want to make sure that your instructor's background and training and his course content fits those needs.
That's a very good point Leon brought up. Think about this. What does a competition shooter's cadre do for you? If it doesn't do anything for you, you're wasting your time. Okay? What does a home defense person's cadre do for you if he doesn't teach the concepts of competition shooting?
Absolutely.
He does nothing for you. Check into that background. Make sure you're getting something out of it. I can't teach you how to competition shoot. I can teach you how to shoot fast. But they understand the concepts and what they're looking for. Alright, moving on to the next one, the why. Okay, I'll let Leon start with this one. The why is simply, why is that instructor teaching? What's his purpose? You know?
Absolutely. Understand this. Everyone does whatever they do from some point of motivation. Okay? And that person's motivation is going to drive how they do whatever that thing is. With instructors, one of the things that you need to be mindful of is you have a host of instructors out there in the hundreds whose sole purpose for teaching is because they see it as a revenue stream. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone who's teaching expects to be compensated for what they teach, and it is a means of revenue for them. But is it the sole purpose for why you're doing it? Meaning, if you are solely money driven and your course content is empty or lacking, then it will show in your work. I've seen lots of instructors who claim to have specific instructor certifications, and you can tell from their presentation that they were there to make a quick buck. Their students leave the range with poor tactics and really were no better off than when they came in through the door. So if your instructor's sole purpose appears to be that he's just doing it for the money, for no other reason, and you feel like you haven't learned when you exit his class, you're probably right. You're probably right.
And let me give you guys something, just to add my side of my twang to it. To understand exactly what he's saying, think about this. In this week alone, I had 3 emails come through. 3 emails of people that I turned down for training. Here's why. One of the guys told me his education didn't match up to the job requirements. I will not take a person's money just because I want to make money. Yes, I have to pay bills. Yes, I have to pay electricity and all that other stuff. But no, I'm not here to take your money. I'm here because what I do is passion involved. Me and Leon was going back and forth with a guy on a forum here recently about, he talked about wages versus training and all this other stuff. Again, what you have to understand is when you find an instructor whose passion outweighs the cost or outweighs the benefit, then you found a great instructor. You found somebody who is willing to give you all and take little, take none from it. All right? And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody who's going to exude the passion. And just today, I had a guy in my class who, I went outside on break and I was letting him watch a video, and he followed me outside to say, man, I wasn't going to pay for this class at first, because he was just coming on. I wasn't going to pay for this class at first, but dude, you just taught me some stuff I didn't even know, and I've been taking training for 20 years. All right? That's passion behind what you're doing and giving people what they want. So,
and that's a very key thing. You find an instructor who's passionate about what he does, and you find an instructor that's worth the money that you're going to pay. Trust me on that. Because he's going to give you more than what you think you're paying for in almost any instance. Where an instructor is passion-driven versus profit-driven, you're more than likely going to get more than what you bargained for.
All right, and so moving on to the next one, insurance coverages. All right, what type of coverage does your instructor provide for you? All right, it's not hard to ask that person that question. Now, in the law where it's written, does somebody have to have insurance? Absolutely not. Okay, do they have to be covered by insurance? Absolutely not. It makes just makes your job harder to sue them if they do something wrong. Because you may be going to somebody, you've just met the instructor bio, the why, and all such stuff. It's like, man, this guy's great, but
absolutely,
he shot me in my goddamn leg.
Right.
So what
he's done something negligent that's caused you damage, and you are seeking compensation. Like Steve pointed out, without that instructor having insurance, it may make it more challenging and more difficult for you to be compensated for due to his negligence. So that's a very good point that Steve pointed out.
And let me help you guys understand this. I know some guys sitting out there like saying, well, I got company security insurance. Let me tell you something. I'm just giving you a real story. All right, real story of one of my students that I didn't train him fire. I trained him on something else. He had a company that he was working for. This insurance company found out that they were doing stuff outside of the insurance policy, and they actually canceled the company, which therefore did not compensate my partner for the shooting that he was involved in. So be careful when you are asking that question to make sure that the liability coverage that they're covered under, no matter where you are, is going to give you coverage for some type of negligence. All right? And so that's just important. All right? Don't skip over that boundary because you want to make sure that you're covered when you go into training also. All right? So another thing of importance on that is we got Mr. Lee on the phone.
That's off-camera sharing section.
And you know we don't care because we move through it because this is unedited, goddamn it. All right, so next up is the doing waivers and paperwork. Point blank, almost like you read my mind. Point blank in the story, you walk to a classroom and you ain't filled out no paperwork. You look at it and it says name, date, phone number.
In short form, if it looks like a hot mess, you can pretty much expect a hot mess.
All right.
Your instructor should be a choreographed play from beginning to end. It should look like it runs in a well-organized sequence. Okay. We have a term that we use commonly. It's bootleg. If your instructor's paperwork looks bootleg, more than likely his training program is bootleg.
Okay. Let me kind of throw a fastball in there. Think about this. Not only the paperwork, but if you come in that classroom and you look to your left and you look to your right, and you know for a fact the people that are sitting in that classroom don't match your skill level on a class that's supposed to be up here, that's a problem. Okay? There's such thing as beginners classes, intermediate classes, advanced classes, all right? And that doesn't mean you're more cooler than them. That just means you've had more training time. You understand the concepts a little bit better. So if you looking to your left and your right and saying, hey, these guys don't look like they match up to my skill level. I'm not talking about stereotyping. I'm talking about freaking looking at them handling the gun and something ain't right. You know. All right, guys, look, we had a little giggle moment. Don't worry about it. We have 1 minute for you.
Don't worry.
So look. So basically, if you are sitting in the class next to somebody who has the word across their forehead, negligent, run. It's not for you. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Because we kind of running on our time. But teaching methodologies plus the training aids. Okay? Now, I start off here. When instructors get started, a lot of times they don't have a lot of money to put into training aids, all the cool stuff. Like I still see people running around here with the CERT training pistol. Great tool. I don't have one. It's pretty expensive. Okay? The red training Glock. Great tool. Again, I don't have, let me take that back. That's not something I see as a right now tool for me. Okay? But you may go to another instructor and say, he's got one. Maybe he's making a lot more money. You ever ask yourself why that is though? Is it because he's charging more? Is his social media game up to par? Alright? What do you feel about that?